Alright, today I'm going to talk about opening this style of 8-track cartridge, which I call Warner style. Again, other brands used this similar style, but Warner was the most popular, so that's just kind of what I call it. A lot of people call it that as well. With this, you're just going to need regular flat head screwdriver. I recommend, not a small one, but not like, just a one bigger than this. Also, this clothespin assist tool, basically a clothespin with a rubber band around the end that usually would stay open naturally, but you're forcing it closed, and it's usually is pinned closed is open. So you want to stick this in to this tape hole. This thing is just, you can use it with so many different kind of 8-track cartridge openings, and it is a huge help. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is finesse. It's kind of hard to talk about, like specifics of what to do with opening some of these, because you just have to kind of get a feel for it. You can say like, oh, don't go too far, but don't put it in lightly, just right in the middle. You have to feel for something. So there's a tab in there that you have to unhook. You have to unhook a tab from a lip, and it has to clear it. So and I'll find this, you're always doing this motion with 8-tracks. It's like a kind of an S, like a curve, basically just something like that, where you're like dipping with pressure and prying, and then you push, So same thing with this. You put it in like that. Again, not all the way. Putting it in all the way with a lot of these tab situations will result in the tab being broken. So you just want to kind of feel from where the lip starts, and go down, or pry up, however you want to think about it, and push. Now the two halves are separated over here. Come over here and you have this other thing. Now, people break, let's see if I can get it in focus. People break the plastic right here all the time, because they just stick this, this in here and just crank it. You really don't need to. It's kind of a hard, not difficult, a weird thing to describe, but what I do is just kind of like, have my thumb putting pressure on the bottom half on this side, and my fingers kind of putting pressure on this top side, pulling it up. So I'm kind of got it like, my hand and fingers are doing an assist of separating the two halves. So you do that, and then, just kind of pull it down, crank it down a little bit. This one was an easy one. Some of them are really hard. You don't ever need to go too far to where it just starts bending and then cracking this. It can, sometimes it's like really hard, and it barely, you can see how it kind of slightly separates there. Well, if you can get it, let's see if I can get it to where yeah, so it's like kind of caught there. You can stick this in there, and then do a little twist. You're going to twist to the side like that. It's a little twisting motion. Some people have better success with opening this end first and then doing the other end. I think that different ways work on different ones. With the plastic and the tabs and the lips. I think that there's just some like slight variations where some of them are harder to clear, to clear the tab from the lip than others. Some of them are just easy. Feels like you just kind of like tap it and it comes apart. So just try different things. But generally, using a screwdriver and You know, you don't ever do it to the point of breaking it. There's always a solution for not doing that. If you feel like you're gonna start breaking this, then you know what, snap this back together, snap this end back together, and try to do this one first. You know, maybe it's that this needs to be, the pressure needs to be relieved on this side first, and then you can do this side, you know. So just go with that, experiment, but generally follow those guidelines with the Warner carts, and that'll help you.